Biden signed today a sweeping new executive order aimed at cracking down, now listen to how the media write this, on anti-competitive behavior by big tech and other sectors, including labor, healthcare, financial services. 72 actions and recommendations. The order is intended to promote competition in the U.S. economy by encouraging more than a dozen federal agencies to scrutinize corporate mergers and other ways that a growing number of companies build their outside market power. You know, this is a joke. The idea that the biggest monopoly on the face of the earth, with the most resources and the most personnel on the face of the earth, that's involved in credit, debt, housing, landlord, tenant, pensions, health care, transportation, you name it, every damn aspect of this society and this economy. It's the greatest, most massive monopoly on the face of the earth. And in addition to having that kind of economic control, it has one other power. It makes the laws. ExxonMobil doesn't make laws. And they say they're doing it for you. This constant war by the Biden administration on the private sector. He has massive taxes in store for these companies and for you. Massive regulations are already being spit out at breakneck speed. Now he issues a fiat from the Oval Office. This is a man who's never worked at a 7-Eleven. This is a man who's never worked in the private sector. This is a man who's never hired a single individual in the private sector. He doesn't know how the private sector works. And there he is, issuing fiats. He's against consolidation, except when it comes to the government. That he wants complete consolidation. Says he's looking out for the consumers. Have you looked at the price of gasoline lately? The price of food? The price of clothing? The price of automobiles and homes? Inflation's going through the roof. And this wrecking ball, this human pandemic, is concerned about competition, no less. They want to take over the courts. They want to take over the Senate. They want to take over the legislative process. They want to take over our voting system. The borders are wide open. They undermine the cops. They undermine the military. And they're not done. They wreak havoc on our culture. And now he wants competition in the private sector. That's not what he wants. He wants an all-powerful Department of Justice. He wants an all-powerful FTC. He wants an all-powerful SEC that are run by his minions, by his comrades, by his hacks, to control the economy. That's exactly what's going on. That's exactly what he's going. He wants to urge the FTC and the Justice Department to challenge prior bad mergers that past administrations let slide. This is their language. To undo mergers. The FTC to ban or limit non-compete agreements and occupational licensing requirements that the White House argues impede economic mobility. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a nationalization of economic activity. To prevent internet service providers from striking a deal with landlords that limits tenants' choices, which the White House said can prevent broadband infrastructure expansion by new providers. Allowing hearing aids to be sold over the counter at drugstores. I mean, what are they going to do? They're going to manage drugstores? They're going to manage grocery stores? They can't even manage the damn border. Unbelievable. And by the way, they call it the American Economic Liberties Project. Are you kidding me? It's a massive executive order. You know, we used to have what's called statutes. And these statutes, they used to require a vote of a majority in the House, a vote of majority in the Senate. And then the president gets to participate by signing them, that the legislative process is done that way. Instead, we have this munchkin, this mental midget, who's handed these documents. He can't read them. He's slobbering spittle all over the documents. He's signing them. Sometimes he's actually signing his own name. What's the big deal? He's just issuing one law after another. The big deal is we have separation of powers in this country. And because it's 50-50 in the Senate, and Eva Pelosi's holding on by the skin of her teeth in the House, he's just taking it over. He's doing it himself. Everything needs to be challenged in court. This man needs to be challenged. He needs to be slowed down. This agenda, the manner in which this agenda is being imposed upon the American people, and the consequences of this, both constitutionally and effectively, has to be confronted. Has to be confronted. And you know what? This kills entrepreneurship. So you're trying to start a business. You're a little guy or gal. You got all these rules and regulations and taxes and red tape and complications now. This guy's smothering the economy with a pillow. He's taking a pillow to the economy. That's what he's doing. And he doesn't give a damn. He's got 50 years worth of a government pension that you and I paid for. He gives speeches, slobbering, mumbling, slurring his speech. They couldn't pay him enough. And Dr. Jill, of course, $17 million in about 2 years, sets up 2 S corporations so he doesn't have to pay Medicare taxes. He doesn't have to pay Obamacare taxes. But come on, man. Come on, man. The rich, over $400,000 a year, they got to pay their fair share. Come on, man. He's got that reprobate son of his, a sleazeball in every single respect. Chip off the old block, if you ask me. Now he's selling paintings, and we don't know who the buyers are. Oh, now how many Republican administrations could get away with that? You know how they had the elephants paint, with their trunks, Mr. Producer? Their paintings were better than Hunter Biden's paintings. Biden's making a fortune off paintings. He's a painter. He's an energy expert. He's an expert on Amtrak. This guy's unbelievable. For a former cokehead who just cheats all the time on everything. This guy's a renaissance man. He's unbelievable. What are you picking on Hunter for? Big targets. Biden targets big tech. Now, we all hate big tech, but it's not just big tech. This is a misleading title, and it's a misleading article. This is across the board. This is across the board. Joe Biden, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi have never worked in the private sector. A trifecta of morons. Their staffers have never worked in the private sector. They're counter-revolutionaries, or they're think tank types, or they're professors. And so they want to control the private sector. Just sign the document, Joe. Is that the way this is supposed to work, ladies and gentlemen? I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.